are showing everybody the way to go as Senna and Alesi. This is the most exciting battle on the circuit at the present moment. They are 19 seconds behind Nigel Mansell, who is in second place. Ayrton Senna has been pushing Honda and McLaren very hard indeed to improve the Honda V12 engine and the McLaren chassis, and they're expecting real improvements for the German Grand Prix at Hockenheim, but even they are expecting the situation to be much the same at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix next week as it is here.
Yes, and Patrese is just starting to get into his stride now. He's not lapping, he's still a second away from the speed that Prost and Mansell are lapping, but on the other hand, he's well over half a second quicker than Senna and Alesi, the people in his immediate sight. So Patrese is starting to close. The question that hangs over Patrese's car is, did he damage his tyres running in that traffic early on? Because if you're trying very hard in traffic and you're getting a lot of slip on the tyres, then you can overheat them. And the front tyres are very marginal here.
Well, down in the pit lane, the man who's got the story for us, Grand Prix driver Jonathan Palmer. What is it, Jonathan?
Well, apparently, Murray, what happened was that off the line, Patrese was in first gear and got a lot of wheel spin. Now, he selected second with a semi-automatic gearbox, but the selection went through second and into third by mistake. That bogged the engine down right out of the power band. He lost all the momentum, all the acceleration, and, of course, got dropped right back to ninth place. Good news, though, is that there is apparently no gearbox damage, and he's now running well.
Yes, and he's the third fastest man on the circuit, slower only than Alain Prost, who is second fastest, and Nigel Mansell, who's just created a new lap record in second place, 1 minute 20.9, 2.3 seconds behind Prost, so he's catching the Frenchman. And the race order in the French Grand Prix on lap 13, Prost in the Ferrari, there he is, 5 times a winner in France, leads Mansell in the Williams Renault by 2.35 seconds. Senna is 21 seconds in third place behind Mansell and dropping back, just ahead of Jean Alesi's Ferrari, fourth position. Riccardo Patrese has closed the gap between himself and Alesi in fourth place to 7.8 seconds, and he's lapping 1.3 seconds a lap faster than Alesi. Sixth is Piquet in the Benetton, seventh is Moreno, eighth is Mauricio Gugelmin, who you will remember ran second in the French Grand Prix last year, and somebody has gone off. It's Nakajima, I think. Satoru Nakajima, the Japanese driver, it is, retires for reasons you can see very clearly yourself. He's perfectly okay. Nakajima, whose great desire at the present moment, I understand, is to retire from Grand Prix racing. There are all sorts of rumours about who's going to be taking his place in the Tyrrell Honda team in 1992, as Alain Prost, with the yellow flashes on his wings, comes up to lap the Jordan of Andrea De Cesaris, who is just behind one of the Brabhams. It's Martin Brundle.
Here's an interesting test for De Cesaris. He's done everything right this year, relatively speaking, and he hasn't had much practice of being lapped, because the Jordan and he have been going that well. Is he going to be looking at his mirrors and be helpful to Prost? Nope. He's too busy having his own race, but at least he gets inside the Brabham. But that won't help Prost or please him. Oh dear.
Yeah, De Cesaris moves up to 17th place, and because Prost fails to get past, you see Nigel Mansell is now right on the gearbox almost of the Ferrari. There is the picture. On the left, Alain Prost, and that is considerably less than 1.5 seconds. And there's Stefano Modena Tyrrell hitting Pierluigi Martini's Minardi, or just failing to, actually. And still Prost now. This is a race. This is the race for the lead on lap 21. Alain Prost has been caught well and truly by Nigel Mansell and is being held up. The Frenchman's got to get past.
Yes, it's the old story there that got him. It was backmarkers too busy with their own race. It's De Cesaris, who managed to win his little battle then past the Brabham, but he certainly messed Prost around.
Having done the previous lap 2.1 seconds faster than the bulk to Alain Prost to close up right with the Ferrari, which is now going past Andrea De Cesaris, and Mansell challenging for the lead, and Prost moves over, and Nigel Mansell leads It's the French Grand Prix on lap 22. He has closed from 2.5 seconds to leadership. Terrific.
Yes, a truly fine bit of overtaking there by Mansell. Good opportunist stuff. And he really is a master race driver. There's no doubt about it that Mansell can really race, because that was excellent. And he put it right across Prost. Prost knew where he was. Marvellous bit about braking. So, Brave, right down the inside. The action replay here. Mansell not worried about getting close to the grass. He's already got the corner side. Prost moves wide now to try and get across in front of him. But Mansell has got his car in the way. He's holding the inside, and there's nothing Prost can do. And that was marvellous bit of opportunism by Nigel Mansell.
And just for the record, it happened at the Adelaide hairpin on lap 22 after he had braked from 175 miles an hour to 30 miles an hour. And Mansell goes across the line, having completed 22 laps, and now leads Alain Prost by 7/10 of a second, pulling away. In fact, Mansell's last lap, 1 minute 22.8. Prost's last lap, 1 minute 24. So the Williams and Mansell are lapping 1.2 seconds faster than the Ferrari. You can see the result as they come down to the hairpin again, down through the gears, from 6th to 5th to 4th to 3rd to 2nd. Mansell the man. He leads. Can he win here in France? He's failed to do so yet this year, and the traffic problem is still there, but Mansell is dealing with the traffic absolutely superbly as into the pits comes Riccardo Patrese. Now, there he is, tyre change.
Yes, and I think he's doing the right thing, as this is just an early tyre stop, because he's making no progress. He's got cars in front of him. If he can get out now, the balance improves and he can lap in the same sort of speed or quicker than Mansell and Prost. He can come fighting back to the field. He won't catch the slower back markers yet. And he should have a nice clear track as well to do some quick laps. And that may stand him in very good stead when everybody else makes their tyre stop. Could be good tactics.
Not a particularly scintillating stop. We're riding with Patrese now, 12.2 seconds. You reckon on 7 seconds to be a really good one nowadays. And this gives you a very good idea of what the Nevers circuit of Magny-Cours looks like. And we're building up now with Riccardo Patrese. He's up doing about 155 miles an hour as he approaches the Nürburgring, which he goes through at about 130 miles an hour, the right and the left, up to 150, down to the second slowest corner on the course, the 180 degree it's called, for a fairly obvious reason, 55 miles an hour. Then up through the gears and into the pits comes Ayrton Senna. Third position, and this is lap 28. Ayrton Senna then, and oh, what a absolutely fabulous pit stop. 5.5 seconds, and that will have helped his position a great deal. Ayrton Senna, that's, I think, that's the second quickest pit stop I've ever seen in Grand Prix racing. And the order now on lap 28 is Nigel Mansell leading Alain Prost. We expected the McLaren to come in for a tyre stop. It's by no means certain that others will do so.
That tyre stop was so quick, I was surprised the driver was ready. And Senna dropped just one place because, of course, remember that Patrese had already stopped a lap earlier behind him and made a much longer pit stop. But that was a truly fabulous tyre stop. In fact, they did it so quickly I didn't even notice whether they changed the rears, but I'm sure they must have done. As Prost himself is in, and so the cascade of tyre stops has started. That's a 7-second one for Alain Prost, keeping the mechanics teams well on their toes. And a fine stop by the Ferrari team as well. Now there's going to be a lot of pressure on the Williams team to turn Nigel Mansell around quickly when the time comes. And I would think it's not very far away, depending on the traffic situation.
Well, this is really, really riveting stuff, as Alain Prost, having changed the tyres on his V12 Ferrari, comes up behind the Dallara, the sole Dallara, because Emanuele Pirro failed to pre-qualify, and it is JJ Leto, the Finnish driver, and Prost is sandwiched between Leto and Johnny Herbert in the Lotus Judd. Nigel Mansell leading, of course. Jean Alesi had gone up into third position. We will need to wait until the end of this lap to see how things have settled down. but you can see that there's a massive crowd watching this race. It's a very difficult circuit to get to. It's a long way from anywhere, and you get to it through country lanes and enormous traffic jams, but they persevered, and they're seeing a race to remember.
And Mansell stayed out for one more lap, and I think I saw him give a wave to his pit then as he went past our window, and indicating that he's coming in next lap. He can do that on the radio, but nothing like good old visual signals to confirm things. The radio is a bit difficult to hear over. And Prost's stop has left him 18 seconds behind Mansell at the moment. But remember, Mansell still has to stop. Lazy now is in third place because Senna's dropped back to fourth after his stop. 11 seconds behind Prost, but of course he still has to stop. So Prost's position is false. And is in reality better relative to Mansell and Lazy, who are sandwiching him on the circuit.